Ms. May.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. One of the things that makes us think of war times, of course, is to see the enormous struggles on the ground of communities like Fort McMurray. I extend my entire, all Canadians are looking at that community and thinking, oh my goodness, how are they facing this? They've had the economic downturn and the fires, and now the floods. The other day, the Deputy Prime Minister referred to spring as flood season and summer as fire season. Before the climate crisis, we used to call them spring and summer. I'm wondering, in the context of this pandemic, acknowledging that we're also in a climate emergency, what preparations is the government taking to help house people under evacuation while maintaining the COVID public health advice?
The Honourable Minister for Public Safety.
I thank the member opposite for a very important question. And we share her concern about the challenges facing communities that are experiencing flooding conditions and will eventually perhaps also experience fire conditions, and ensuring that we can safely house them during those climate emergencies that do take place in our country. We are already facing a situation in Fort McMurray, and we anticipate in the very near future in many Indigenous northern communities will also face a similar challenge in ensuring that we have safe housing. Historically, we would put these people perhaps in a community center, but that's not appropriate during this particular medical crisis. And so we are exploring with our provincial partners all of the ways in which we can safely house those individuals as they face those crises of flooding and fires in their communities.
Ms. May.
A quick follow-up. We have vast areas of British Columbia's area where we've had forest fires that have wiped out the forest, like Elephant Hill Fire. Nothing's been replanted there. And as a matter of prevention to this hydrophobic soil, it doesn't take the water in anymore. When it rains, it just washes it right down into streams and brooks and rivers. I know the government spoke in the campaign, the Liberals spoke of having a tree planting program. Could that be applied in ways that would be an adaptation measure to help prevent floods?
The Honourable Minister of Public Safety.
Again, and I think it's an excellent recommendation, Mr. Speaker. And in fact, we have been in discussion with our provincial partners in discussing various infrastructure programs that we are prepared to invest in, which will also be intended to mitigate and to prevent some of these tragedies. Certainly, a tree planting program, I think, could be very useful in these circumstances. And there are other significant measures, particularly for flood prevention, that will also have our consideration as we go forward, investing in infrastructure across the country. I believe every dollar spent in prevention can save us an enormous amount of money in the eventual cure.
Member for